of the day. And this one feels a little bit more certain. No, it doesn't feel more certain. I actually think it's going to have the same outcome, Dev. I know that might be harsh, but Kelton's Knights just have not shown us enough.
Yeah, and I have been a huge Panic fan ever since they took down 6 targets. Even before then, when they had a really good start against Man LFO in their opening game. But yes, the big story here is Kelton's Knights, who were one of the best teams of last year. The only team all of last year to beat Bliss in the OCE League, and they have been a shadow of their former selves, yet to win a single game out of the 5 they played. And Rob, I said this just before we went live, they have won exactly 14 rounds in the 5 games they have played. So they could have won 2 games, but no, they have been absolutely pitiful. It's such a shame the way that this roster has panned out, because Josh coming on board, it should be a huge upgrade, and yet holistically this team has fallen apart.
Unfortunately they have, and my homie Vinny, I'm gonna call you out, Vinny. You're back, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Once upon a time I used to love you, now it's a love-hate relationship. Look, to be fair, it is a really tough ask for Kelton's Knights at the moment. It feels like they've got all the makings of a fantastic team, but obviously the league is just more competitive this year, Mandy, which is just so bizarre to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think last year they had an edge of sort of having the right experience, and not only that, but not being too invested as well. I think last year that was somehow an advantage, whereas I think in 2024, the off-season, everyone's gone back to the workshop, pulled out some massive stuff, has played really competitively over the campaign, and then has gone into stage 1 as well, looking a lot more fresh than we saw in 2023. Whereas I think that Kelton's Knights probably don't have the same work ethic to the game. I think it's pretty fair to say that one, even though they have been practicing a little bit more in 2024. And yeah, I think it's just come to bite them back a little bit. They look a bit out of touch.
The way I would describe Kelton's Knights is like the high school jock. Right?
What?
Oh,
now get where I'm going.
Okay.
They were the bad boy last year, right? They had the leather jacket on. They barely rocked up to school. They didn't study for tests. They rocked up.
Like the dropouts.
They beat up the nerds and were like, "Hey, give us your lunch money." Blah blah blah. Then they get out of high school and they realize that all their future prospects are down the drain and things are not going well for them.
No.
That's where I'd put Kelton's Knights at the moment. But they've still got that jock energy about them. They can still turn things around, and I say that because I genuinely love this roster and the individual players on it. But the team that has shocked us the most so far in Stage 1 of 2024, and it's not even close, Panic Esports have come through and absolutely knocked us off our block. We did not expect this to happen, Mandy, but they seriously have risen to another level.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys, they look like they play some very decent Siege, to be honest. They go in, they do the things that they need to do to get through the maps. On a micro level, I think they're doing just fine as well, Shant being the leadership figure of the team. And it kind of helps when you've got 4 support players on the team, right? Those small things that you need to get done in a map to make the map work, get done, because you've got 4 people that have done it before or know how to do it, right?
Yep.
And then you've got Karma, who's just Karma.
Yeah.
Just shoots them. So, honestly, yeah, I think Panic, with their lineup, have done a lot better than we thought they would. Even though they didn't have the experience, they probably have just the right skill sets to get through the motions of Rainbow Six. And I think they've definitely shown us that in the server as well.
Now, I'm going to take just a very quick moment to make a little bit of a comment about Karma, because coming into this year, there were a lot of things that I'd heard behind the scenes, from different players. And genuinely, and I mean this with all my heart, people really thought that Karma was one of the worst players that we had in OCE last year. Okay, I'm not taking the piss. This is not a bit. So for him to turn this stage around, to come in on one of the bottom-rated teams, the team that we thought was just a no hope in hell of making it anywhere near the playoffs, and to perform as well as he does, he should absolutely have a pat on the back for that. And we should all be taking our hat off to him, because the amount of respect that man has garnered over the last 2-3 weeks is absolutely outrageous. So, good stuff.
And not only has Karma changed, but Panic Esports as a whole have changed. Yep. This was like the obvious outsider. Compared to last year, we had 6 of the same teams this year, plus we've got 6 targets who are kind of a bit special because they're all the veterans, and we knew that they were taking this seriously.
Yep.
And then you got Panic. Like, they are the obvious outsider in that collection. And they also really struggled to even qualify for this league. They were the last team to qualify. They only just made it in overtime against Estio, and I think most people had picked Estio to make it through. So the fact that Panic managed to make it in, and the fact that Panic have pretty much solidified themselves as a top 6, maybe even top 4 team is absolutely bananas. And Karma, yes, he has been a huge part of that. Against Circular Spheres just yesterday, he dropped 20 kills.
Yeah.
And even after being quiet for 3 or 4 rounds, he closes the game with one of the most insane, mechanical, and simple 4Ks I have ever seen. This guy, every now and then he has a round where he doesn't do much, but every now and then he will have a round where he dominates and simply wins outright.
And maybe on the flip side, every now and then Bouncin gets a kill.
yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, every now and then Bouncin, like, appears in this server. Really, at this point, is he just a mascot? You know,
Yes,
he's in the server.
yes.
He's just the mascot for these guys to get through it. But somehow he's got the Ash license. So, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I don't really know what's going on behind the scenes there. But yeah, Bouncins looking a little rough.
It's the Kelton's Knights versus Karma Esports, as we've affectionately dubbed Panic in recent times.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Kelton has not been the upgrade that we were looking for.
No.
Last year we were excited for him to rejoin the roster, and I think this year we've been sorely disappointed with what he's been able to contribute.
It's a bad omen.
Unfortunately, he was not the droid we were looking for. He was, in fact, the bot. Let's go ahead and move on to the Veto's Bouncin.
That's very
Kelton,
good for
I'm very
me.
sorry, my friend. That was a bit harsh.
Damn.
But we're in a day where we get to have a little bit of fun. But again, we actually called this day Doomsday coming into it for a damn good reason.
Ban club. Yes.
There we go. No clubhouse, no
Ban
chalet.
Sky,
We're going to
Ban
get something a
Sky.
little bit different.
Oh.
God! No, Sky's already out. Bank!
Let's go!
Hell yeah.
Oh, we're headed to
no.
bank!
No, but look, in that last interview, what did Wet say? You don't take Kelton's Knights to bank.
Literally. He's
No.
already warned them, man.
No.
I actually really like this. So I was hoping for Kelton's Knights for us to go to Oregon because we did see Karma Esports lose it 7-0 to Antic. And
Yep.
so it's in their map pool, but not a great one for them. On the flip side, only maps that Kelton's Knights have played so far is actually Clubhouse and Skyscraper, and they have lost them every single time.
Yep.
So I didn't want to go to either of those two. I didn't see that Skyscraper was banned, so I thought we were going back there. Thank God, by the way. Yeah, Bank, as you said, great one for Kelton's Knights historically, and Bliss even said that themselves. And I've got very little results from the other side. In fact, the only time Panic played it in recent history, they actually lost it to Odium. So I think this is a fantastic pick for Kelton's Knights, and probably their best chance of winning a game so far.
Yeah, look, Kelton's Knights, their backs are up against the wall, unfortunately. 0 points out of a possible 5 games. We did not expect to be saying that coming into play day 6, but this is a huge game for Panic. If they win in regulation, they secure playoffs. We're going to go to Bank with Guz and Xenox.
Knights to pick up their first win of the stage here in Play Day 6, and for Panic to get themselves into the playoffs. So quite a lot at stake here in this particular matchup for our second of the day. Unfortunately for Kelton's Knights, they cannot get out of the bottom 2 with any kind of result here or even then next week in the final Play Day. They are locked in the bottom 2. They will not go to the playoffs. For Panic, they go into this very much as the clear-cut favourites. Guz, Bank is where we go. I think also a map in which they can do quite well. We spoke to Sean yesterday, though, and he made very good arguments into why they actually like the more structured maps as well. When we saw them play yesterday, they did quite well. I was a bit surprised. And also, I was very surprised at how well-spoken Sean was. He was really good in the interview.
Yeah, I'm eager to jump into this game. I think naturally a lot of the discussion for the two of us is going to be centered around Panic. Kelton's Knights cannot qualify for the top 6, regardless of their last 2 results here in the group stage. Whereas for Panic, they have a little bit more on the line. A win in this game will all but confirm them in the top 6, 100% so if in regulation. Top 2 becomes a very interesting storyline for them, though, as well. With a regulation win, they have about a 1 in 4 chance, but they do have Team Bliss next week. So a bit of a curtain raiser for Panic in that regard. Get a confident win here today, and then transition that into next week and see if you can fight from the top 2.
Now, going into the mathematics just a little bit, I know they always say don't do maths on air, and I'm not really going to do the actual calculations, but you did already touch on the fact that Panic will play Team Bliss next week. Now, Panic could pull off an upset, but if you want to just go with the easy path and say they don't get any points, if they lose this match, unexpectedly, they'd be on 8 points going into, essentially, well, the end of this stage, if they have to play next week against Bliss. So that means there is every chance in which 6 targets, Antic and Circular Spheres could then overtake Panic. So a win here locks them into playoffs, but more importantly, it means they don't put it in any kind of position where fate is out of their hands regarding bottom 2. Now, they go into this as favourites, starting on the defense here of Bank against a winless Kelton's Knights. For a Panic roster that picked up a really good win yesterday against Circular Sphere, 7-5. That one coming on Skyscraper, doing a lot of that on the defense. And we are now heading to Bank for this second game and looking forward to this one.
You really like the sound of your own voice, don't you? Let's jump into this one then. Bank Basement round 1, Panic start defensively. So they are on the favorable side and anticipating them to probably get off to a decent start in this particular matchup. Looking across at Bank in this one for what we are to expect in terms of the map statistics. It's only actually been played once and a very one-sided game, so we can't really take a whole lot from it. There's only a 40% defensive win rate in that particular match. I can't remember what game it was. I think it was a CS Odium, if I had to guess. It's the game where Save popped off, so yeah, we can't really take much from that. But historical data would suggest that Bank will be, you know, again, in this matter, favorable for defense, especially the primary sites. Go down below with the Kaid band. That will alleviate some pressure for attack. Monty also taken off the board though, which will make things a little bit more tricky. With the Twitch band out too, expect Mirror to get some decent play time and for that utility to be better fortified. Fenrir as well. Again, common defensive ban at the moment. I want to kick things off with a roam. Open area to kick things off. Bouncing with a very swift entry. Top main stairs.
Yeah, nice kill. Nice swing from Bouncing. Karma goes down as well. When we talk about Karma Esports, know that Dev is one who's coined that one. And Bouncing will get a second. Owen challenging at main stairs. Default was up as well. Still was, and then finally no longer. And a nice double kill to start for Kelton's Knights. Going aggressive with the lineup that they're bringing. Good to see, of course, Vincier back into the server as well. Full lineup employed for Kelton's Knights, and a good start. A kill onto Karma does already reduce the offensive power of Panic quite significantly, and on a basement site, it's Bouncing Balls that has got full control of main stairs. He's found 3 kills single-handedly. And a site now that is completely opened up, and Kelton's Knights off to the dream start here on Bank.
Heading into today, the lowest rated player for the team, a -16 KD spread for Bouncing Balls, -2 on entry. Subverting expectations here in the first round though, kicking things off nicely with a 3K, and nothing to say he can't go on for more. River and Volt, watching that drop, the flashbangs make that a challenge. Drop likely to follow as Real as rotates, maybe in support. He's in the back line currently, Bouncing
Whoa, my God, he's on for the ace. Do they know what the last one is as well? He does! Bouncing picks up an ace to kickstart this game. Kelton himself smiles from Vincier. And there haven't really been many smiles this stage for Kelton's Knights. But that was a real nice moment for Bouncing, a real nice moment for Kelton's Knights, and a great start to this game of Bank.
Didn't have that one on the bingo card.
No, absolutely not.
Kelton to get a 5K round 1. It's finding it difficult to see Kelton win rounds in this match, but it's certainly not in that fashion as well. Wow. Just really clean, confident entry. Karma off the board first, and then just able to snowball that down main. So good work there from the old Kelton's Knights round 1. Will there be a flash in the pan though?
Yeah, interesting to see that Panic actually aren't even going to repeat Ockers and CCTV, instead opting for Staff and open area for this second round. Once again, aggressive lineup looking to be the case for Kelton's Knights, bringing the Deimos in this round, switching up the hard breach from the Hibana over to the Ace. Coupled, of course, with that Thermite, and no, Deimos will be put away, and instead the Floras and Buck.
Wait, what did you say?
The Buck.
Okay. I thought you might have said something else.
What the
there.
Buck did you think I said?
You have been known to drop the magic from time to time, so
well,
just got to make sure you're not using it up early.
Aggressive in towards E-Box. If he had a held, that could have been on for 1, but instead we'll back off to Archives. Playing the tuber out. Need a bouncing camp. Just a little picture-in-picture of the man who picked up all 5 kills in the opening round.
So we'll probably see the attack contest a bit of control up above here. Work vert across in a relatively default pattern. They do have the buck, as you mentioned, so Josh can get to work on that eventually, but it is being contested. Long lines of sight. Josh now in the fray. River, though, still up above on the castle. I assume running UMPA cog, and he is. So we'll see how they go about clearing this. They have a ping.
Yeah, they got the information. You can see the drone as well on the other side. Janitor, oh, that's a little head peek.
Oh.
Little shoulder jiggle. River did find a kill, by the way, on that castle over towards front desk. Josh, nice long angle. Expected the peek to come from the Janitor, but shot. Nicely done. Little crouch peek, finds the kill. Karma as well. Elsewhere, we'll find Pat. Down to Worthy and Vincia. Knowing full well, one inside of Janitor. Kit over towards E-Box. Minute 30 remaining in the round. And interestingly enough for Carlton's Knights, big separation here in their duo. Vincia and Worthy not close to each other at all at the moment. I'm assuming Vitten is like bot main. Not even, he's in Surfer. Going up towards blue. 60 seconds to try and salvage this round. And he finally makes his way through blue. One into Archives. Proxy alarm will ping off. And he actually just walks straight in towards sight, but one, didn't have kit, and two, immediately spotted by Reelers. To be fair, Worthy was going to be the one, I guess, to go outside and get the kit. 40 seconds left in the round. Now into a 1 versus 4. I imagine Worthy wants to keep the KD at 0, 0, and 0.
You got to go for it, though.
Well, I mean, he could save his Roteros for the next round, right? That's how it works.
Could you imagine? 6 Rotero?
Please no.
You'd spend the entire round.
Well, there is one top square. Now that one top square is Karma, and he's pretty good, pretty sharp, gets the kill. And a very quick response from Panic. After losing that opening round, they follow it up. Staff Room and Open Area has been comfortably won in that second round.
Yeah, they were forced to play into the roam clear game there. Carlton's Knights losing the first pick to the castle. Good trade as well from Shant inside of Jan. Team then left scattered and to scramble for some kind of control. Decent work from Vinny up blue to then try and get in towards the objective, which he achieved for half a second. Was then taken down, and with it, the chances of Carlton's Knights being able to double their standing in the scoreboard. Out of basement we go. And as mentioned previously, this should be a very challenging and difficult site to break down for a default push. Unless you're going to rely on another crazy entry from Bouncing Balls. Because again, with that mirror in play and the Twitch band out, it's quite difficult to contest those power positions.
Impact going. Insertion. Spec you active.
5 seconds remaining. Attackers must locate
4 drones shot out in the prep phase. No, I was wrong. I got once again caught by the HUD bug. I went early. I went 2 seconds early and then watched them all disappear in those X's. Came back to life.
You got to stop going early. We've been talking about this.
Yeah, I honestly thought prep phase had ended, but I was wrong. Only 2 drones. Or, you know, they could just fix the HUD bug. Either or.
So drone work then for the top sweep. And again, assuming that Carlton will want quick entry on that top floor.
Karma's deep in garage.
There's no roam though, so it should be relatively swift control. No Kaid, so hatches then to follow quickly from Vin. They shouldn't have many issues here. It's going to come down to the bunker down on site. I like the response here from Panic. They'll lean heavily into the setup they have. Goyo canisters for space, Maestro for info. Good catch potential with Owen and those magnets. Reelers can relay info on the Solus, and then mirrors facing in from likely red position should be a challenge to break down. That will probably be one of the main roles for Bouncing Balls in this round, not fragging out, but making sure that those Ash charges land on the mirror windows.
One Logic Bomb available as well from Worthy. I imagine you want to save that for the latter stages of this round. Still 90 seconds left. And Lobby Hatch gets opened up.
See what I can find.
And good flank watch as well. Okay, what's Kelton's going to do now? Going to get stalled out momentarily. Drone goes through. The Vulcan canister has been spotted. Needs to be dealt with swiftly. One of the larger pieces of denial. And you've also got the Maestro cam. A lot of information so far indicating it will be quite default.
Well, the Ash charge got caught, so good work there from the defense. Second
There's going to be another one. And Pat's going to go for the plant. Oh, what a headshot from Bouncin. The actual Bouncin himself. Impact thrown, but it goes over the shoulder of Pat. The plant is successful. And now it's a post plant, 5v4. Now Panic need to retake up above, but already at Beepers is Vincia. And that's the round. It's done. 5 versus 2. They had the man in place the whole way through. Vinny already well positioned very aptly earlier in the round. Josh already had hatch control. I mean, a really well set up round from Knights with the fact that they had one stock, one towards Beepers watching main. River by himself at that mirror window. Dead, eventually overwhelmed. But a lot of that also comes down to getting that plant down successfully. If that plant doesn't go down, all of those good positions at the hatch and main stairs, it doesn't do a whole lot. So really nice from Kelton's Knights that they got the plant down, but where's the denial from Panic?
Yeah, you know you've gotten away with things on that particular default plant if you don't have to bait out util. Now, Panic didn't bring a smoke, so there were no gas babes to stall out once the Goyos had been expended. Shont had Nitro in pocket post-plant, so he never got that out. There were impacts as well in the hands of the Maestro, again, not used for plant denial. So there are a couple of pieces of the puzzle that were missing for Panic in that round. They saw that the plant was going down immediately when that Maestro was destroyed. So that should have been relayed to those on the team that could deny plant. Difficult to know exactly where Shont was, so I don't want to be too critical on him, but having Nitro in pocket post plant is never a good look. I
mean, but that in itself needs to be critical then, because if he's not in the right position and you've got that Nitro cell, then you're in the wrong position.
Yeah.
So something to consider. He's not the only one, don't get me wrong. Interesting defense from Panic, but I mean, really good job from Kelton's Knights. Pretty good approach. They also didn't leave everything into the last 20 seconds or so. Thought they were actually really well paced in that round, and so far looking good here on Bank. For what's been a very tumultuous season for Kelton's Knights, certainly looking a little bit better. Maybe that the pressure is off, that they are in the bottom 2 regardless of this match, and of course next week. But hey, what they can do though is play spoil. They can still upset everyone else.
And of course, it's Bank. Think back to last year against Bliss. It was the same map. Something about it.
Well, it comes back then. It'll be a good question for Panic as to the map choice. Have they got this one wrong? Played yesterday on Skyscraper, a bit more of a structured map. They played that well. Shont mentioning the fact that they wanted to go to a particular map like that, backing themselves in. And they go to a bit more of an open map, and Kelton's Knights are looking quite free. Not free because they're easy, but free because they're roaming around. In this day and age, you got to be careful of the way you phrase those words. Good information here through archives on the polls for Owen. It's a peak though from Stock. River, very successful, gets rid of Worthy. 0-3 for the former 3-time MVP.
Oh, look at this info. So there's 3 out on the rappel, and Owen's able to relay that. I don't know where the 4th was.
Where's the 4th?
Probably top square, or square bulk, or something like that. Hard to guess.
Ooh.
No, yeah, it's the... you got Flores, so Josh will be clearing util stock. He'll probably want to make entry through there. No Azami in play, so I don't think we'll have too many initial issues.
I mean, what's the win condition here on the triple rappel?
I'll hope that the defense overpeaks you, but you've got to flush them out. I mean, they've got the Capital, so they might be able to force something Jan, but... bit of a Hail Mary play, to be honest, for Kelton's Knights in this position, I feel.
This is better. At least Josh making a bit of headway over towards top square. There is actually one play pushing up top square. That was a moment and a chance that Josh couldn't capitalize on to get that kill against Karma, who finds his 3rd kill in this particular match. River, too, was able to get another one. 2 in the round for him. Now into a 5 versus 2. Still outside on this rappel for Pat. On the Capital. Heads to the roof, and him and bouncing balls now as a duo. Needing to find some way back into this round with 50 seconds left. It will be incredibly difficult. They can go through top square. But truthfully, it's not a round that's looking very likely for them. One still inside of stock has been pinged out. Balls very much knows this. Kelton sprays, hits nothing. Nitrocell hits nothing. River, can he find a 3rd? He does. an embodiment of this round where it's just all one-way traffic river for the 4K inside a stock. No one could clear him, and it's another round on the board for Panic.
Yeah, I feel like I may have jinxed Kelton's in that night, in that particular round, by mentioning that the lack of his army should have meant that stock was weakened. And clearly they didn't factor in that River was going to pop off and find the multi in that round, so did some really good work to get the entry, then locked it down as we eventually saw Kelton's Knights pivot off the triple repel. So they've been a bit hot and cold on the attack here, Kelton. Same though, could be said for Panic defensively, losing one to the back of an ace, and then second, lack of plant in our basement, but top floor looking sound. Josh perhaps a little bit unfortunate to not win that one as well. All the 50-50s going against them in that particular round. Into round 5 then we go. Not entirely sure what side is open, yeah? Okay, cool. Castle in play. And so U-Tool is going to be relatively important. We may well see the floor is brought out for Josh pivots. Without the Monty, there's not really that opportunity to go for a quick hit E-box, so we are unlikely to see that, I feel.
5 seconds
We'll see if Keltons want to play into the roam, or if they look to oversimplify and maybe go a little bit more direct. Again, they still could try and go electrical without the shield. Or maybe through lobby. But when instead, they do have a hard breach in the hands of Pat, indicating that they may elect to get some control bot square, work that quad wall, and then look to play inside the kitchen.
How many times have we seen Bank this stage so far in the Oceania League? I feel like
It's just the once, I mentioned it before, and it was that very one-sided game, 7-0 I believe in the end, so stats are irrelevant.
Yeah, completely irrelevant. I was going to say, I just felt like I hadn't really seen it a whole lot. For a map that maybe like end of last year, I felt like we actually saw quite a lot.
Yeah, hasn't really been in the meta for stage 1.
Ping information, lovely shot from Bouncing Balls. Kelton's on tonight. Good headshot on Karma, who has been kept quiet. Slow peek works though from Admin. Reelers. I don't think Balls was expecting that one. And Bouncing, Vinny and Worthy both pick up a kill each. This match of Bank keeps going back and forth. Now into a 4 versus 2 for Kelton's Knights, down to Sean and Reelers. Not just all available. Both on site. Open and staff. And Kelton's Knights with plenty of time to get themselves a third attacking round win here on Bank. As the Logic Bomb goes out from Josh, that was the final one. Still 2 EE1Ds, 6 flashes, plenty of utility to win this round. And the double man advantage as well for Kelton's Knights. 90 seconds remaining.
I have Nomad for flank watch, Lion crowd control, hard breach as well. Flank's currently being held, and I thought momentarily Shont and or Reelers would reattempt up main, but instead looking to lock down open area, seeing if they can find some ones.
Oh, straight off the breach. Josh is just ready and waiting. Shont looking to find a response. Vince here from behind will get the final kill of the round, and with 1 round to go in this particular half, Kelton's Knights at minimum will at least tie it up or take a lead into the second half. It's been a really good showing from them on Bang, considering they are a team that cannot get out of the bottom 2. They cannot make playoffs. They have literally no way of making the Manchester Major. But they are fighting tooth and nail against a Panic team that has slowly started to gain attention as one of the top teams in this region that is making good headway. Yeah, they're a little bit on the ropes right now. But such has kind of been the nature of this particular league this stage. It's really difficult to predict what kind of version of a team, of a roster is going to show up on any given night. Panic, probably not at their best right now. Dev repeating over and over again, Karma Esports this and Karma Esports that. Well, Karma's 3-3 and has largely been irrelevant.
Yeah, I think he's going to be well placed in terms of attack for unlocking rounds. Defense, it can be a little bit more challenging. So, I'm not going to pull a line through Karma just yet. But
I'm not putting a line through. I'm just sort of highlighting that. Is this a case for Panic where it's Karma or nothing? Like, if you want to be a top team, that can't be the case. It's not Brendo or nothing. You know, it's not Wettables or nothing. Those top teams have got multiple avenues. So if Karma's 3-3, which means he's not having a bad game by any means, but he's not 15-0 Karma, certainly, which we know he can certainly be every now and then. But he's not going to do that every night. Now River's doing his thing, 6-4. Reelers 2-3. Has he been impactful enough? Probably not. I think Reelers needs to be that second man in this roster. It probably has to come down to him. Owen and Shant playing the more supportive roles, expecting them to maybe not be heavily fragging out, but it can't just be the Karma show. Otherwise, that is a weakness that I think in best of threes in playoffs that we will see come to the forefront for Panic.
Yeah, just to, I guess, reevaluate where Panic are at the moment for this matchup. A win essentially will confirm them for top 6. However, for a top 2 and the favourable seeding, put themselves in best position. We need to see a regulation win here. So important that they don't let Kelton's onto that 6th round. And they'll be under serious threat. If they go 4-2.5, that's not a great split. A loss here for Panic, though, shouldn't spell complete disaster. They should still qual, but would certainly be a win that they want under their belt. Round 6 we go. Bouncing balls once again looking for entry up above. But it's Vinny to find the first through that Canto breach, or perhaps some angle down below through lobby, not entirely sure, but it is River to fall. Probably playing front desk as he was prior. Karma with info. Gets timed.
Oh, Karma's dead here. Yeah.
Wow.
The little monitor in the way, Josh was able to play off it really well. Karma gets caught. 4 versus 3 now for Kelton's Knights, looking to really take the advantage into the second half with a very strong attack here on Bank. Panic just looking a little lost right now on the defense. They are feeling overwhelmed. Still 3 death marks available for Worthy. Drone economy is pretty good as well for the most part. Only 2 drones inactive of the current players left alive. And just 60 seconds remaining in the round. Drone shot out. Shant spotted over that hallway. Janitor just slips in. Talk about the timing there. Worthy throwing the frag grenade in. Vinny just takes a bit of damage as well. Fall back to sight now, I think, is going to be the case for Panic, and hold positions and angles. Shant gets a little aggressive inside of admin. And I think this is a good angle that he is holding. 30 seconds left and still up above. Knights need to make their way to sight before it's too little too late. Shant up close. Takes a bit of unnecessary damage at the hands of that skeleton key. The drop can come from Worthy, maybe. No. Very delayed attack right now from Kelton's Knights.
Oh, 15 seconds then.
15 seconds remaining.
Panic. Are they able to withstand this pressure? Owen gets caught.
They can drop now. They
From
can
the
drop
exterior
hatch.
window.
Yeah, that was the player that was watching that hatch in from stock. Josh goes down, though. That was not going to be the kit. That's Pat. He's got it. He's getting that down now. Nitrocell thrown out. Sean! Oh! From downtown!
Run out of time.
Sean has just hit a clutch buzzer beater. 3-3 at the half. No advantage for Kelton's Knights. And that, to me, felt sorely needed for Panic Esports.
Yeah, really well played there from Shant. Nicely landing that Nitro cell on top of the
5-on-3.
earlier SMG.
4-on-2 at the end. Gets a nice kill. Just throws towards default. I mean, that was close. Lovely kill. I mean, I say that was close. To be fair, there was quite a bit of time still remaining to, yeah, about 1.9 left on that one.
Worthy's still outside as well. Well, round 7. Panic on attack. Karma on entry. That's going to be the big story of this half. Can he unlock these rounds and give his team much needed advantages for the late round?
Yeah, big round from Shant, though. Yeah, I was kind of saying about who can step up. It's not just the Karma show, but holding on site in a 2 versus 4, getting that first kill, then immediately having the game sense and whereabouts. Default plant. After that stock drop.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
really well played. 3-3. Knights down onto the defense.
Attackers must locate.
Ah, sorry, I wasn't telling you to be quiet.
Oh,
It's all good. Rob being a little bit cheeky.
was it Rob?
Yeah.
Mr. Monday.
Manic to the major.
Yeah, well, don't think so.
Well, definitely Kelton's going to the
Well,
major.
definitely Kelton's. But hey, they can hang out with Rob.
True. So for this round, we're going to see pretty expected lineup, at least from the attack. Defense, it's a little bit more intriguing with the likes of the Mozzie in play and the Banshees from Vinny, which may provide more info offsite, depending on how it's been employed. River for quick entry top, though. And bouncing for a quick pick onto Shant. Wow.
I think this is going to be very hotly contested right until the end. I think even on the defense, Knights are going to be more than good enough.
It's
going to take a really solid effort from Panic on the attack. And you're right, I think Karma's probably going to have to be the one to unlock this on the entry positions. It's his bread and butter. What makes him so strong as a player is his ability to collect those entry kills, open up positions for the rest of his team to kind of funnel in. If he goes down, Panic lose a big source of their power, arguably all of their power. And Pat holding top blue, Vulcan canister, very good position here with the shotgun. No deployable shield. Doesn't really need it.
Yeah, we'll see if Panic are able to isolate this position. With the hatch opened up, they can trap him in blue. Maybe possible. They have 6 flashes. Could even cap a tower out if needed as well, but you would expect the Goya canister to be popped in response pretty promptly here from Pat, who's so strong at holding these kinds of positions.
Good call, expecting the pressure. There's actually another one down there as well. Bot blue, I think that was Josh from quick glance. Just backing out a server now.
Pat holds.
One thing I will say though with that Vulcan canister top blue means it's not on site, so it's a little bit less denial in terms of that CC plant. But Pat will hold, as you mentioned. Flash got a swing and shoot. He didn't get anyone.
No, he got one.
Oh, he did get one, you're right.
That's his job done.
Josh, is he going to get his one as well? Not quite. I mean, he got his 99%.
Yeah.
Not quite the full 100% though, and eventually goes down in the flames on site. 20 seconds left. Owen, ironically, getting that kill as well as he remained alive with that 1 HP. Finds the kill. Worthy then to go down, and suddenly Panic making this round work. Still, Vincia and Bouncing Balls can spoil the party. The smoke making vision very difficult, and Owen will get that plant down successfully. What a turn of events. He should have been dead bot blue, if not for one more bullet to land from Josh. And now into a 3 versus 2 retake. Kelton's Knights though with the 3. River over towards Dirt. That's a long angle. Doesn't give away position, doesn't shoot necessarily. As Bouncing Ball goes for the retake up above. River, Karma, bot blue. River in Dirt. Vinny gets that kill, forces River out. There's the hatch position. Good headshot. He's already on the plant though. And there's the drop from Bouncing Balls through bot square. And the retake is successful for Kelton's Knights. Topsy-turvy round, flip-flopping both ways. Pat gets his one, Josh doesn't. Panic at the plant down, and then we see Kelton's Knights get the retake. 4-3 in favor of Kelton's Knights, and the scoreboard indicative as to how close this game has been between these two teams.
Yeah, things getting really messy with that plant going down, limited time remaining. Smoke coverage good from Panic, but the retake from Kelton's Knights ultimately proving to be better. So much experience, immediately going up top main, and with only 2 attackers remaining in the positions in which they were, there was no one to cut him off from that main stairs position. Karma losing his one proved to be quite fatal, although he would have ultimately been flanked as well. And then Bouncing Balls, true to his name, bouncing on top of his final prey through that hatch. Good work. Not a great start for Panic, it has to be said though.
It's been an interesting game though, because I kind of like this for Panic. I know that sounds really strange, but they're in a position where they're getting challenged and Karma's not fragging. He can't save the day right now. He's not having the life game that we typically see from him. 15 to 20 in terms of kills. So it really puts an emphasis on everyone else to stand up collectively. You're a team that is 3-2. You've been beating some good teams, you've been challenging. You want to challenge to be a top 3 team in this region. You can't just go down to Karma or bust. So you're looking to River, you're looking to Realist. Shonton has also stood up. Need to see a little bit more from Realist still. Just a 2 and 4. Karma, as much as you can't rely on him getting 15 or 20, 4 and 5 for your top player, your entry player, right now needs to pick that pace up a little bit. So pressure certainly on those players of Panic to turn things around. Can they do so? We'll find out in the next couple of rounds. But you also have to remember, for Kelton's Knights, there is literally no pressure. They have nothing to gain but nothing to lose. So therefore, they can just go out, play an official, have some fun. No stress on the results. And I think they're playing a little bit more loose and a little bit more free because they are simply under absolutely no pressure at all. And they're playing some good Siege right now. And can't be understated too. I mean, Vincia's inclusion, he's 7 and 4, playing well. They've missed him for a couple of games. Worthy finds an entry on to Realist, 2 and 5, sorry, entry denial. I'm not sure what Josh is doing there. Just caught over towards Janitor. Easy little lurk from Karma, but a lovely push up from Pat. Top square, Karma goes down. And that's been the game for Karma. Get one, but then die. And that's why he's 5 and 6.
Yeah, because he's not playing the first fight. Every time on attack so far, the first
What am I watching?
times, he hasn't been the one making that early engagement. Maybe there's a more conscious effort from Panic in this game to not be relying on Karma for that very first fight. Or there's a desync. Karma's entry stat is very impressive. And even more impressive is his ability to close out rounds. So you need the support structure around him to ensure that, again, if he's not going to be having that first fight, if it is the second, he's not going to get immediately traded. That's what we saw in the last round because no one's near him top square.
Yeah. Panic, of course, beating Circular Spheres yesterday, 7-5. Yeah, prior to that, did get 7-0'd by Antic, a bit of a blip on the radar. But also before that game, beat Odium 7-5. So you've beaten Odium 7-5, you've beaten Circular Spheres 7-5, and you beat 6 targets. Now you're losing to Kelton's Knights. That doesn't really seem like it's following the story path that this stage has set out for Panic Esports. This goes back more so to that 7-0 against Antic, that blip on the radar. And I guess it's just the nature as to where this team is at right now. Great team, good youth. Their best is really good and can challenge those top teams. But arguably speaking for Panic, the consistency is clearly just not that strong right now. Can't be entirely reliant on a singular player, we know that. And certainly not Karma's fault this game. He's trying, but yeah, right now 5-3 in favor of Kelton's Knights. They've been great. I mean, Bouncer Balls has had his best game all stage. Vincier's return, duly noted. And really everyone else pulling their weight. And then that is even worse news. Is that, are we in time? Is that a rehost potential? I don't even know. We're into action phase.
Yeah, it should be. Yep. First 30 seconds.
So first 30 seconds of action phase, which means we will go to a rehost. All right, well, I'm not going to lie. I think Panic probably need a bit of a time here. Yeah, Karma's already kind of just dipped out. I was... Man has, I don't know, ran straight to the bathroom or something. Yeah, I don't know. I think Panic probably needed a breather, to be completely honest.
Yeah. Bit of pressure in the kitchen right now. I don't think I've ever seen Vinny this happy playing an official, but maybe it's because he's actually getting kills today. Yeah,
I mean, he's playing really well. Vincier's been great. I mean, really, as a team, they've been great. It does make you sort of wonder for Kelton's Knights, where was a lot of this throughout the stage? Certainly, there was a lot of winnable games throughout the stage. I mean, even really as short-sighted back as yesterday against 6 targets, 7-3 loss on club, not ideal. So, I mean, they're a team that I think we expected a little bit more from this stage, but good to see them bringing it out. Yeah, a little bit too little too late. Rehost time for us. Short break at the moment. Kelton's Knights up 5-3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for the delay. Panic have been able to get Karma back into the server. We can continue where we left off at 5-3 in favor of Kelton's Knights.
Attackers need to locate
Going into the 9th round now, they are searching for match point. We head to CEO for this particular round. Unfortunately, it was a rehost, so we lose all of those KDA numbers, but yeah, so far it's been bouncing balls. He's been the MVP of this game by far and away. Vincia, if I remember, was 7-2 and was having a sensational return after missing a couple of games. For Panic Esports, it's been a bit of a rough stretch. Certainly the kind of game that we went into with a pretty high expectation that they would be able to win this and win it comfortably, and right now they're up against it. And looking to also now deny the 3 points away from Panic if Keltons can get one more round.
So to top floor we go then for round number 9. In the first 2 rounds of this attacking half for Panic, Karma has not been the player to engage in that entry fight.
Should mention as well, it would be Kelton's Knight's first point of the stage if they can muster up at least one more round. So either we're going to get a Panic sweep, come back 4 rounds in a row, clutch, win this and get all 3 points, or Kelton's Knights will get 1 on the board.
And if they win one more round, locking in OT, Panic's chances of finishing top 2, even if they go on to win, drops all the way down to 8%.
Wow. And what is it if they get the 3 points? Just a skew close.
How does that close? 23.
23. Okay. Yeah, that's quite significant. From a
They have to
chance,
win 4 rounds in a row.
yeah, from a good chance to essentially impossible, close to it. Big couple of rounds coming up, and all 2 of these next rounds, I guess you could say all 3 in theory as well. Oh, nice entry from Karma, straight into Janitor. Can't win the second, though. That's been the theme for him this game. He's been able to be good for 1, but just the carry-on snowball effect that we typically expect to see from Karma, where he can just get 1, then 2, then 3, open up sight, make the round essentially over early. Nice little crawl down bot square. Balls gets caught. And so 3 versus 4 now. No trade to come through that time from Kelton's Knights. Worthy on the roam down below, over towards Staff, now in towards bot square. And Vincia is quite low. The dock, unfortunately, gone. So no stim pistol there to get him back up. Are they aware, though, of this position of Worthy? That could be such a difference maker. I think he just took a shot and ran, though, so position certainly known.
Impact on the breach, followed up by Giga Barrier, just to stall things out a little bit here for Panic. Josh has been able to reclaim territory inside of Jan, but Kelton's Knights do have the man disadvantage. Trying to establish, making it tough, and the economy looking strong for the attack. With the repel held, this, should be an attacking round,
Vinny!
but Vinny with a big shot.
Yeah, can he do it again, though? I mean, he's low. And the fact that he even stood up and took that shot, very risky. Worthy finds 1. He's been roaming around. Owen actually going for the repel in. Concussed.
Oh, no.
Oh, man, Worthy's outside at the moment. Josh can at least play a little bit of cover with Vinny towards long desk. 20 seconds left, though, remaining in the round. Owen with the kit will eventually have to look to stick that angle. Found, though, from Josh, top square. Knights have been able to unlock the round. It's Owen that's been spotted as well at front desk and eventually overwhelmed Josh. And with that, Kelton's Knights have gotten a point in this stage of the Oceania League. It's taken until Playday 6, but a point nonetheless. And for Panic Esports, a disaster unfolding. After such a solid performance last night against Circular Spheres, now a horror show on Bank. All they can achieve now, at best, would be the 2 points. And boy, they would have to turn their form around quickly. Otherwise, this one is looking done. 3 match points for Kelton's Knights on defense, on lockers, CCTV. Looking for their first win of the stage.
Very tricky to see a world in which Panic do get knocked out of the top 6. They get saved a little bit by the fact that CS and Antic, who are teetering on the edge of the bottom 2 at the moment, actually face off in the next Playday. The chances still stand at 80% for Panic, even if they are to lose this in regulation. But with losing that previous round,
5 seconds to insertion.
it does very much feel like the top 2 is now out of reach. Chances severely diminished, even if they go on to win this game, and then go on to beat Bliss in regulation. Shot, though, catches bounce and balls off guard. That was a very ambitious spawn pick, and we'll see if Panic can now convert this advantage.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd do that on a Locker City, but I mean, I guess it's match point. You get a couple of them, you get a couple of attempts. This could be the kind of game, or sorry, kind of round where you go super aggressive, it doesn't work, falls apart, 6-4, then you repeat, play more default. Worthy hanging around this hallway. You lose the Solus as well, so the drone work should be a little bit more comfortable for Panic in this round. A bit of a misdrone into Janitor, hasn't cleared Worthy. And actually Worthy got the kill. Yeah, full misdrone, and he gets the swing onto Karma. Just the little errors for Panic creeping into their game so far in this match of Bank. Really nicely done from Worthy. There's another player, would have hurt him as well, the cross from Reelers. I mean, Worthy just making quick work here, Panic, despite that opening kill. There's another one outside, Terrace! Owen! Doesn't even consider that Worthy could swing from stock. He gets 3 in the round. It's a 4 versus 2. Only Shont and River remain. A head was spotted. You saw his head. Surely you saw his head. Quad kill for Worthy. River's top. Spiral. This one's done. The rehost took longer than those last 2 rounds. Kelton's Knights with all 3 points in this win on Playday 6.
I mean, huge reaction from the players. I mean, they've got a result across the line. It doesn't mean a whole lot for these guys, but for the side of Panic, a little bit of a disaster match this evening. Couldn't quite pull it together. They got off to a good start. Kelton's Knights, the ace from Kelton himself, and then able to really just carry that momentum forward. Second half, very strong from them as well. And Bank just seems to be the map where they pull off upsets.
Yeah, what a disaster for Panic. Fortunately for them, well, right now doesn't mean their stage is over by any means, but it does kind of put some question marks into that team and going into the final play day. By no means are they safe now with that result. For Kelton's Knights, great win, but a little, too late.
Well, there was a clear warning, do not take the old men to Bank. That was what was said in the previous interview. And unfortunately, we obviously had Panic just completely zoned out in that case. And that's what happens, Dev.
Yep, Wedables knows what's up. Credit to him. He's a wise man, and clearly Panic.
He's a wise man.
He is a wise man.
Damn.
First time Wedables has ever been called that in his life.
Oh!
But Panic clearly were not listening. Yeah, I was personally surprised that we went to Bank, and you can see why. These guys really know how to play it. Even Kelton, as the guys said, came through with an ace. I didn't expect him to have a big impact. He's been pretty average this stage so far, but they fired up today. The substitution that we saw coming in as well. Just big stuff. I'm really happy to see Kelton's Knights finally get a win.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that they're already out of playoffs contention.
Yeah. Jake said it. Too little, too late. Just like it's too little, too late for Vinny to apologise to me for leaving us this stage. Yeah, that's right. Mate, what's going on? Where have you... Okay, before we get into the proceedings, where have you been?
I mean, last night was a one-off tech issue that I'm pretty upset with myself that I couldn't fix, but I don't know. I went home for a little bit, so we had our sub playing. OJ and Cambo just couldn't step up to the plate in my absence, and I don't know. The rest has kind of been history at this stage.
Have you stood up to your own plate, though, Vinny? That's the real question.
Nah, look, this stage has been somewhat of a joke, but it's all good. We're having some fun today. Today was a fun game, so it was good. Yeah,
look, we kind of came into this stage, I think, putting you up the top of, around the top 4 at the very least of that discussion. I'm not going to be that guy, but like, what's happened? What's gone wrong for things to go this way? Do you think, is it a case of you guys just not playing to your potential, or has the actual competition increased?
I mean, first and foremost, Kelton came back, and it's just been a struggle with bouncing balls back in. But no, I think honestly, I think everyone is improving. Honestly, this is even when we were going through qualifiers, we were noting how well some of the teams were playing against us. Just kind of rocking up and doing whatever doesn't quite cut it anymore against some of these younger teams. But also, we're putting a bit more emphasis on practicing even once a week. But I think we kind of fell into the trap of trying to play a style of structured siege that we're not practicing enough for. So we're kind of in this limbo where we're trying to play a bit more together. A bit more structured, but we weren't practicing enough to kind of make that work. So I think even tonight we're kind of just letting a bit more loose, and I think that actually worked better for us.
So your next game, mate, is actually against the second best team in this league in Odium. So last stage you managed to play a bit of spoils against Bliss for a brief moment. What are the chances that you can actually knock Odium out of that second seed?
Yeah, I mean, after tonight, we've got a bit of momentum. One game is huge for us after 5 losses in a row. So I think we're on the up. Odium will probably be a bit nervous. They're a very young team, I think. And yeah, hopefully we can upset them.
I know you joked about Kelton coming back into the team, and it's been a bit rough, eh? But like honestly, with you guys being like slightly older roster, having played a different era of Rainbow Six, how's it been trying to relearn the game and then teach it to the new players that really didn't actually play at all in 2023? Like, what's the rebuild period and the process been like for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, Kelton obviously has a lot of experience with the game. He's played at majors. He's a great player, and he's also probably unteachable at this stage. So we kind of just let him loose and just let him do his thing. He said pretty early on he wanted to play BB tonight, so we just let him play Blackbeard, sit on the windows. But yeah, no, it's been fun. Honestly, at the end of the day, we've always had the same idea of sort of having a bit of fun. And just enjoying Siege, because it can get a bit much when you've been doing it for as long as we have, and just being able to enjoy it has been really good for us.
You can just say what you mean. You are washed. It's okay, Vinny.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. Look,
I'm just holding on.
I made this analogy at the start of the segment about you guys kind of being the high school jocks back in stage 2 of last year, and now it's gone spiraling out of control. You've got your hat on backwards. I think it's quite fitting. Do you?
Yeah, I actually just need a haircut, but yeah, I mean, we were like the popular kids in high school, and now we're just the washed-up guys with no jobs, so that's us now.
Both in and out of the server, mate. You just can't find it, can you? Vinny, look, mate, much love to you and the boys, but have you got anything you want to say before we let you go?
Yeah, just thank you to you guys, as always. You guys do an amazing job. Thanks to all the production. God bless Kelton's Knights.
And God bless Australia. Thank you very much, Vinny. We'll chat to you soon, mate.
See you guys.
Oh God, there's people that you really miss, and names that really go up there.
And then there's Vinny.
And then there's Vinny. Yeah, Vinny's. Why do you keep doing? Do you hate me?
Yes.
Like, do you physically hate me? I don't get it. Why do we know? Yeah, look, I've got to admit, I do genuinely have a lot of love for that team, and it's nice to see them bounce back, Dev. But mate, look, we say it's too little, too late, but is it too little, too late in terms of the year? Do you think this could spark something for stage 2 at least?
Yeah, look, that's what I'm wondering right now. And if we had Vinny for a little bit longer, I would have asked him that. What is the long-term plan? Yes, Odium next week, no playoffs after that. So that actually concludes their stage.
Yep.
Are they going to stick around until, to be honest, what is quite a long break before stage 2 starts? Will they then try and requalify, or however that ends up working, and then play again? Last year it was very much like, oh, we may as well just play. We can just rock up and have a bit of fun. How will the team treat it? Will they look to try and practice? Will they practice more so that they can nail down that structured style? Will they practice less so that they perhaps don't put too much pressure on themselves? How are they going to play it? I really do wonder. Or will this team even exist? I really hope so, because it would be devastating to lose these guys.
It certainly would. Mandy, we talk so much smack on Kelton.
I know, it was horrible. Oh, I feel so bad. Look, all honesty, he got an ace in the first round, mate. Like, his first 5 kills come straight from round 1. Like, I don't know. That guy, like, legit took the test seriously, like, personally, man.
Yeah.
Like, we were saying, like, oh, this guy's come back in. Vin was like, he's unteachable. Like, this guy's a bad omen. Bro, he is not, man. He's back in the server.
Honestly, just put a Letterman jacket on him, and, like, it's you genuinely could see him, throwing the pigskin around in the backyard. Like, he's going pro once he leaves school. That's all I'm saying. Dev, look, a little bit of disappointment for their opponents. Panic now up a creek without a paddle.
Yes, they are. And it does put into context their whole stage. They've had so many upsets. They took down 6T, but now next week they play Bliss, and realistically they will get 0 points out of that game. And I just had a look, like, they're currently sitting safely, like, in 4th, right?
Yep.
But 6 Targets, Antic, and Circular Spheres are the ones below them. And if all 3 of them jump over, then they are screwed. But of course, Antic and CS are going to be playing each other later, and it's really going to depend on how that works out. Also, with 6 targets playing Man LFO, there's a very real possibility that Panic don't make it to the playoffs, but the Stars kind of have to align against them.
Yep.
But I still think, like, honestly, I would say if I had to put a number to it, like 40% chance that they don't make playoffs, which is pretty high considering they're currently in 4th.
Yeah, and I was just saying, you know, when we were off the desk, Mandy, it's crazy to consider a team with 3 wins might not actually make it through to playoffs of a 6-team bracket. It is absolutely ridiculous. But what is even more ridiculous is we still have 2 more games to go. We'll be back after this with the rest of the night.